Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Powerful Group, the world's first ROI based collaboration networking platform where we connect high potential entrepreneurs to visionary investors. Today, we always think about how our business can get investments and how investors could be persuaded so that they invest in our business. But the problem is that when you talk about from the government side, it's very important to deal with the policymakers and the people who are actually taking decisions in terms of the framework of the businesses. Today, all these policymakers and all these decision makers in the government are all doing good and better decisions for upliftment of India. But it is also very important that this all policies are explained to the last mile people uh, based in villages and remote areas of India, so that overall India can really grow. There are very less people that I know that are participating in this entire magnitude of businesses and magnitude of people in villages so that their life can be uplifted and their lifestyle can be really enriching so that we can have prosperity for all. Today, ladies and gentlemen, I have Vice President of a Women's Wing of BJP, that is Bharatiya Janata Party in Gujarat, Lipi Khandar with me, who is just that right woman, who is, we are proud for her to become a part of Powerful Group, and she is the last mile connector for all the policymakers in the government. Lipi, how are you doing today?
Namaste, Kunal. How are you? I'm good.
Thank you so much for being a part of Powerful Group. And we are looking forward for your speech and your panel discussion in our event in Mumbai. So Lipi, tell me about, who Lipi is, how did you start and how did you come across and become the woman wing, vice president of Bharatiya Janata Party in Gujarat?
So, Kunal, definitely it has been a journey for me. And, after finishing my dentistry, I have done BDS. And after finishing dentistry, I could connect myself more as an entrepreneur. So, I've joined family business and I have 10 years of experience as an entrepreneur. And, after working for so many years in the field of business and meeting different people and doing your work daily, I realized that, my calling is something else. The purpose of my life is something else, not this. And I started figuring out that, what exactly I want to get into. And in 2014, Narendra Modi ji, he came as a prime minister in our country, and somewhere it inspired me and it ignited me a different kind of patriotism in me. So that time, politics was never on my mind. I just wanted, and I realized that I belong to the field of empowerment, and I'm a very empowering personality. Anyways, wherever I go, especially to women, I like to empower them. I like to tell them that you can also become something. Think beyond looking beautiful or just taking care of the house and children. You can also have your purpose in life beyond that. So, being that empowering personality myself, I thought that let me do something for the country and the people of our country. And then I'm born and brought up in the urban city. So, I did not know what is happening in the rural side of our country and everything. So, I decided to establish a foundation, a Know Your Rights Foundation. That time, establish a foundation, and it was a new thing. So I decided that let me do the research that what kind of work my foundation will do, and then I will start the foundation. So across the India, I have visited more than 1,000 villages that time, and I understood that what are the questions and what are the real problems in the rural area for people. And I came across to very big fact that whatever government is giving in terms of yojana in our country, we call it public policy. So those public policy are good enough and very a good amount of different yojana give the compensation and direct benefit to the people in the village. So I thought that let me become the positive bridge between government and the people, especially in the rural area, in the most interior part of our country. So that was the concept that I decided to work on a public policy, that let me spread the awareness on the different yojana and policies we have in the country, and those are very sufficient, very self-sufficient for people. If you are availing all the benefit out of the government yojana, I think you can actually live a Atmanirbhar life as a family. So I decided to do that. Then one more thing came up that I can't reach to every village and tell them about every yojana. So how can I reach to them? So one thing I decided, the digital platform, I'm making a mobile app also. It is in the pipeline. Another thing, that time I started training the sarpanches of the villages. Those are the head of the village. If the sarpanch, the leader of the village, they know about the policies what government is giving, then the awareness and the spread and the benefits of that yojana can reach very well to the village level. So that was I started. I started with actually five sarpanches. We were sitting under the tree in one village. There were five sarpanch me. We were sitting. We were talking about how we can, do the village development through the government yojana. And that is how it started from five to I have reached to 5,000 sarpanches which were associated with my foundation later. So which was a big thing. And then gradually, the political part later happened. But first, this happened that, public policy, I chose that medium that, to go to people and tell them that these are the things government is giving you. These are your rights in our country as a citizen. So please go avail these rights. These are the benefits you deserve and take these advantages and live a very Atmanirbhar life on your own. So, I felt this is a better way to serve people and to serve country rather than just giving somebody a charity. I would like to empower them by, telling them or making them aware about their own rights and their own, the benefits they are eligible to get out of the benefit from the yojana. And later on, everything started taking its place because it was never, politics was never on my mind. But gradually, when I started, when I was working in the villages, I thought that, if I have some sort of authority, some sort of government side or a political side authority, then, that can make a bigger impact in terms of reaching to people. Like for example, from Bharatiya Janata Party only I started doing the Sarpanch Samvad in we call it Sarpanch Samvad. So it's like two-way conversation with Sarpanch. So in one event only we used to target around more than 1,000 Sarpanches. So to the reach to the people, to the villages was much bigger from a political party. So that's what I decided. And of course, the top leaders in Gujarat, they decided to, give me the responsibility as a Mahila Morcha vice president. And in terms of ideology, because I am absolutely inspired by Shri Narendra Modi ji to, serve the country as a patriotic and as a responsible citizen. So definitely my ideology falls into Janata Party because they also believe in growth of the country, of all the families, and we have a vichardhara of Antyodaya Tak. So the most interior and the last family, the last person in the villages should get the benefit what a urban family is getting. So I think my ideology matches very well with that. And so gradually, my destiny turned from an entrepreneur, from a dentist to then I studied law also to support my foundation and to understand the policy better. And then, it gradually just fall into place. And now I feel that every day, the kind of work I am doing, I think I belong here.
Yeah, lovely, lovely. There are very less women, you know, in the field that you are entered, right? The first point is obviously you are one of the rare beauty with brains kind of a person in that entire, and it just made sure that you radiate so much energy that you attract a lot of people around, and then you give the message right. And that really helps in a lot of things because you have now you have the background of law, you have the background of policy making, and you understand how the policy is made so that you can reach a lot of people. Now let's talk about statistics, right? You have been working here since 8 years now, like since 2014 when Narendra Modi became the prime minister of this country. So tell me from a ground level side, right? any policies that are being made, okay, and when it comes to beneficiaries, right, you spoke about direct beneficiaries to a lot of rural people. What percentage can you say is was before the benefits used to reach a lot of people, and what percentage is right now, and how much effort is more required to make sure that we can reach a lot of people still?
Of course, Kunal, I'm sure you know about the DBT, the direct benefit transfer, which has actually changed the whole game. And right now, globally, like all the countries are looking at us that, how this 140 crore, that big population, how we are making sure that all the policies are directly reaching to the people. Another thing is, even the vegetable person or a small vendor on the road, they also use the digital transfer of the money and UPI and all to take the payment and having the financial transaction, which is a very big achievement at a world level. So of course the technology has played its part, and I think our leaders are very much a pro of using the technology and making sure that it reaches to the most interior part of the village also. Then it's a real reach of the policy. So I'll give you one example. Our past Prime Minister Shri Rajiv Gandhi ji said that time that when I give 1 rupee as a benefit to the people, 15 paisa is reaching to them. Why? Because there were a lot of middlemen that time. And now, with the leadership of Narendra Modi ji, he made sure that there is a direct benefit transfer. So there is a Jan Dhan account. So, previously, only rich people could think about having an account in the bank. Now, every family, everyone is having their bank account with them with the
Yeah.
Jan Dhan loan.
Yeah, you are just pushing the entire class of people to get into the mainstream of financial transactions rather than covering that transactions, and it just made a lot of sense because of the Jan Dhan account was there, the demonetization was seamless because people had account, right? So why are you wasting your time? Just put the money in the account. It is so.
Simply any kind of transfer, is any relief fund is given or anything in the time of corona, this that, in any situation with the women empowerment, there are a lot of yojana where a widow is getting pension, old people are getting pension, the farmers are getting their benefits through yojana. So there are a lot of benefits, but the base is this, that everyone should have the account so that the government can pass it on, the direct benefit transfer can happen. So this is a very revolutionary step in our country to make sure that there are no middlemen and every benefit is reaching to the person who is actually, deserving that benefit. So that was one thing. Another thing, that there are so many, there are more than 500 yojana. So I can't give you example of those, but something which someday has touched my heart while I have visited village. So I will share that one evening I was, visiting the temple in the villages, and there was aarti happening and everything. And there was in the corner, there was a old age lady. She was sitting and, she was into aarti and everything was finished. After that, I went to her. I was just talking to her that how do you see that what is the government is doing? Are you happy with the government work? I was just taking her feedback. She said, yes, but I am little sad that my grandson is migrating to the urban city for some sort of employment, lookout and everything. So I said that why he's going there. So she said that he doesn't want to do the job, but he want to do some small sort of business. So he's telling me that I need to migrate there. So I said, call him. I will inform him about different yojana by which he can open his small business in the village itself. So, then she called him and we had a talk, and I informed him about the Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana. So Mudra Yojana has a loan benefit without any guarantee. So somebody who has no business background, who does not have a rich family or a very well-to-do financial background, they can also avail the loan from the bank for their business without any guarantee. So which is a very big thing. And I said, you can open some small shop or grocery shop or whatever kind of business you have in your mind in your own village, and you do not have to migrate just to, for your livelihood. So that was a thing, and he was very happy. And after probably a month or so, it he really got the transfer amount and the Mudra Yojana benefit he got. He started his business, and right now he's very successfully running his shop in the village. So that was very much near to my heart, that it's not just about opening the business, but I could stop the migration also. So which is a very big thing for a family. So these kind of many yojanas. One more thing I would say, that's a very good memory in a tribal zone. There was a girl like 17-year-old. I went there to spread the awareness about the menstrual hygiene. So we had the seminar, I explained everything. We had the whole workshop with different experts also, gynecologist also. And then after the workshop, one girl came to me and she said, yes, right now, so you are giving us for the free the packets of the sanitary pads and all, but later, our area, our residence is in the middle of some kind of a jungle or something, and it's very difficult for us to reach. And I said, there are 9,000 Jan Aushadhi Kendra, which is a medical store kind of thing from the government. And those Jan Aushadhi Kendra, they keep 1 rupee, one sanitary pad. That kind of packet they have. So I said that, this is the location, which is the nearest store to your area, and you can go there, and it is a very economic solution of the menstrual hygiene. So, the kind of happiness I saw on those girls' faces, it's like invaluable. So it's like, I am just playing the bridge. The government is giving the benefit. The people sometimes are not aware. And when you play the positive bridge role, I think it is a very satisfactory job, and it gives me a lot of meaning in my day. Like end of the day, I feel that I have done something meaningful.
Yeah, yeah, it's really commendable. I'll just touch base on the first part of the story where a powerful group really plays a very important role. Where we want people to become entrepreneurs in India, right? Rather than becoming job seekers, we want people to become job creators, right? Because if we are enough population in India, and if this population is routed towards the route of entrepreneurship more, because they are not at the moment, then India, no one is going to stop India to become the human superpower of this world. Okay, financial superpower, yes or no, that's extremely economical, and political question. So it all depends on what perspective that you're looking. US said to be the superpower of the world, but they have $34 trillion worth debt, and we don't want to be there, right? Ever. So we don't never want to become superpower because of all these debt that has to be on the people. We will rather become human superpower and be the man house of the world, right? But to the become the man house, entrepreneurship is one of the pillars that we all need to strengthen up. We are creating an free entrepreneurship institute where we will be teaching people for 2 years free of cost, and there will be no residence cost, there will be no meal cost. So meals, residence, and everything would be free of cost for people. If the person clears the entrance exam, the 2 years worth of his entire entrepreneurship journey, we are going to mentor and incubate. And as soon as he becomes an entrepreneur in 2 years, his venture requires money. We will also invest in his venture so that that venture becomes a reality. So that's the kind of goal that we have for entrepreneurship. But when you gave a second example, it really moved me because government is doing so much, and people were not even aware about what people are doing. Like you gave an example, lovely example of sanitary pad, where every girl requires that once a month, and it's just a normal hygiene that every girl in urban cities spoke about, and continuously talks about. But in rural villages and going deeper in tribal, that's a really commendable thing that you did and you supplied. And as soon as one of the families, one of the women tries to implement it, the word of mouth seems to be a bigger marketing tool in these tribal villages where everyone sorts of benefits. Can you give me any other example that through word of mouth you have been amplified any other message of government?
So, of course, there are lots and lots of, policies which can actually transform their lives. I'll tell you that in a recent, like last year only, I went to one village. There was like a village, some festival was going on, and they've invited me that we are distributing the Ujjwala gas yojana. So they get the gas for their kitchen. So women were so happy. I mean, I have actually felt envious that, even if we travel the world, this, that, the saturation of happiness has reached to such level. And they were, getting the gas was such a big thing for them. And they were so happy. They were so excited to, take it home in their kitchen, set it up and trying a different recipe for their family. The kind of, things they were talking in between. I was amazed to see that, and I felt really proud of Janata Party and my top leaders, that the kind of benefits they are actually hitting the bullseye. They exactly know that what are the problems in the families, in the villages, in our country, and as per that they are giving the policies. So I really feel proud that associated with such kind of ideology, that which is actually, when you see the Awas Yojana, a lot of women are getting more than 50% Awas homes are on the name of women. So, which in itself is a very big empowerment, like a powerful group. You know why I am here? Because it is a brilliant initiative that you are not just giving the investment and a startup, mentoring and all, but you are actually empowering a life. A women or a man or a youngster, whatever, but empowering a life can actually transform the life of the whole family, the whole generation. So it is an outstanding thing. And I still remember when I wanted to start my foundation, I did not have any money on my own. So what I decided, that I want to have my own startup. So I decided and I set up a startup. I took a loan from my dad. After a year, I paid him back. Just a 5 lakh rupees, I started that startup. And I got into the valuation thing, this, that, and after 5 years, the whole package, the whole brand I've sold. So, why that thing started, and I think the Know Your Rights Foundation is based on that startup only. Why I could do all this work? Because I was financially independent. So, for all the women, for everyone, even especially for the youngsters, it is very important that you become first financially independent. You know your finance, you know how to handle your finance, in and out of your business, and these kind of thing only can be possible if somebody hold your hand. So I think Powerful Group has came up with a wonderful initiative, and a lot of families life will be transformed through this.
Thank you so much, Lippy. In fact, we are proud that people like you are a part of Powerful Group, and we would like to take this entire message really, really amplified to the world that India is growing full time. We are in verge of our dream of Vikasit Bharat, and we will make this dream a reality very soon, because our efforts are not going to be vain if we are using the efforts of all the young people in India to make sure that we can reach there faster and with extremely sustainable way. So, Lippy, thank you so much for your time today. You were awesome. Your work is awesome, and with all your schedule, with all the responsibilities that you had, and you give time to us, and you're still giving time to the Powerful Group so that you can be a part of the Mumbai event. Thank you so much for this interview. If there is any message that you would like to give to the people, like a conclusion message, then what would it be?
I think I will definitely tell that this is the time of India. 140 crore of population. From in the past we were consumer, now we are the creators. So this is our time, and we should definitely use this era. We are very fortunate to see such kind of stable government, such kind of policy, such kind of mentorship, different NGOs, Powerful Group kind of organization to handhold and make sure that our dreams actually becomes true. So this is our time, and we should just, go for it. And Kunal, thank you so much for inviting me here. It was absolutely my pleasure to be the part of such kind of initiative, and I'm really looking forward for the event.
Thank you so much, Lippy. And to the audience, everyone, Lippy is an outstanding individual and she can help a lot of rural areas. And if you have any questions or if you want to get in touch with Lippy, please go to powerfulgroup.com/connect so that the conversation is on and we will definitely make your message reach Lippy. Lippy, thank you so much for your time today. It was lovely having a word with you. God bless you.
Thank you.